You are about to repipe your house, or maybe you are just replacing a section and everyone has an opinion. Your neighbor swears by copper. The guy at the hardware store says PEX. PEX is the future. And somewhere online, someone told you CPVC is just as good for half the price. So which one actually lasts the longest? After over 25 years of cutting into walls and replacing failed pipes, I have seen what really holds up and what quietly falls apart behind drywall. Today, I am breaking down 10 honest truths about copper, PEX, and CPVC that will help you make the right call. And make sure you stick around for number 8, because the real weak point in PEX systems is not what most people think. Plus, I have a bonus tip at the end that could save you from a catastrophic failure most homeowners never see coming. The first truth we need to talk about is copper's proven track record. There is a reason copper has been the standard in residential plumbing for the better part of a century. When installed correctly in the right conditions, copper supply lines routinely last 50 to 70 years, and in many cases, even longer. I have personally pulled copper pipes out of homes built in the 1940s that were still in fantastic shape. The metal itself is naturally resistant to bacteria growth. It handles high temperatures without breaking a sweat, and it does not leach chemicals into your drinking water. Copper is also incredibly strong structurally. It resists puncture, it holds up to vibration, and it maintains its integrity through thousands of heating and cooling cycles. Most building codes across the country still consider copper the benchmark, and insurance companies love it. If you are in an area with stable, neutral water chemistry, and you install copper with proper flux, clean joints, and dielectric unions where needed, that system can genuinely outlast the house itself. The reputation is earned, but reputation alone does not tell the whole story, which is exactly why we need to keep going. The second truth on this list is PEX flexibility and freeze resistance. PEX tubing, which stands for cross-linked polyethylene, has been used in Europe since the 1960s and has been gaining serious ground in the United States since the 1990s. Current projections put its lifespan at 40 to 50 plus years, though we are still waiting on long-term real-world data from American installations. What we do know is that PEX has one massive advantage that no other pipe material can match, and that is its ability to expand. PEX can expand up to 3 times its diameter and return to its original shape. That means in freezing conditions where copper and CPVC would crack and burst, PEX flexes and survives. If you live anywhere that sees hard freezes, this alone is a game changer. I have seen entire copper systems destroyed in a single cold snap, while the PEX lines in the same house came through without a scratch. Beyond freeze resistance, PEX is quieter than copper because it absorbs water hammer rather than transmitting it. It also resists scale buildup and does not corrode from the inside. The flexibility makes installation faster and reduces the number of fittings you need, which means fewer potential failure points in the system overall. The third truth, and this one surprises a lot of people, is CPVC chemical vulnerability. CPVC, which stands for chlorinated polyvinyl chloride, has been around since the 1960s and is approved for hot and cold water supply lines in most jurisdictions. It is affordable, it is lightweight, and it is easy to work with using solvent cement. On paper, manufacturers rate it for a lifespan of 20 to 25 years under normal conditions, though some claim longer. Here is the problem. CPVC is chemically sensitive in ways that most homeowners and even some contractors do not fully appreciate. Exposure to certain substances can cause CPVC to crack, become brittle, or fail outright. Common household products like insect sprays, certain adhesives, oil-based paints, and even some brands of pipe hanger insulation contain chemicals that attack CPVC at a molecular level. This is called environmental stress cracking, and it does not happen immediately. The pipe might look fine for years, then one day you get a hairline crack that turns into a flood. I have been called to homes where the CPVC supply line failed behind a wall, and the only culprit was a can of bug spray that had been used in the area months earlier. If you choose CPVC, you absolutely must pay attention to what chemicals are in proximity to your pipes. The manufacturers publish compatibility guides, and ignoring them is asking for trouble. By the way, if you are finding this helpful, you should know this is just a taste of what I have put into my book, 50 Easy Plumbing Fixes That Will Save You $10,000. It covers everything from leaky faucets to running toilets, step by step, with diagrams. You can grab your copy by scanning the QR code on screen right now, or just use the first link in the description below. All right, let us keep going. The fourth truth is how water chemistry destroys copper from the inside. This is where copper's perfect reputation starts to crack, literally. While copper is incredibly durable in neutral water conditions, it is highly susceptible to damage from aggressive water chemistry. If your municipal water supply, or well water, has a low pH, meaning it is acidic, typically below 7, that water will slowly eat away at the interior walls of your copper pipes. This is what causes those infamous pinhole leaks. Certain regions of the country are notorious for this. Parts of the Mid-Atlantic, the Southeast, and portions of the Southwest have water chemistry that is extremely hard on copper. I have worked in neighborhoods where nearly every home built in the 1980s and 90s with copper was experiencing pinhole leak failures within 20 to 30 years. High chloramine levels, which many water utilities now use instead of chlorine, can also accelerate copper degradation. The frustrating part is that most homeowners have no idea their water is aggressive until the leaks start showing up. If you are considering copper, get your water tested first. A basic water chemistry panel costs around $50 to $75 and can save you tens of thousands in the long run. Do not assume copper will last forever just because it is copper. The fifth truth that people overlook is PEX and UV damage, the hidden killer. PEX tubing is an incredible product with one critical Achilles heel, and that is ultraviolet light. When PEX is exposed to direct sunlight, even for relatively short periods, the UV radiation begins to break down the molecular bonds in the polyethylene. This degradation weakens the pipe wall, makes it brittle, and dramatically shortens its lifespan. Most manufacturers specify that PEX should not be exposed to direct sunlight for more than 30 to 60 days, and some are even more conservative than that. Here is where it gets real. I have seen PEX runs left exposed on the exterior of buildings, hanging in garages with south-facing windows, and even routed through attic spaces where sunlight hits through vents or gaps in the roof sheathing. Every one of those installations is a ticking time bomb. The pipe might look normal from the outside, but internally the structure is compromised. And here is the kicker. UV damage voids your warranty. If that pipe fails and the manufacturer determines it was exposed to sunlight, you are on your own. The fix is simple. Keep PEX out of sunlight, period. If it has to pass through an area with any sun exposure, sleeve it in UV-resistant conduit, or use UV-rated clips and covers. A $2 sleeve can prevent a $2,000 repair. The sixth truth on this list is CPVC brittleness over time. Even if you keep every chemical away from your CPVC pipes, time itself is working against them. CPVC gradually loses its flexibility as it ages. The chlorine molecules that give CPVC its heat resistance also make the material progressively more rigid and brittle over the years. After 15 to 20 years, CPVC pipes can become so brittle that simply bumping them during a renovation or tightening a nearby fitting can cause them to snap. I cannot tell you how many times I have gone into a home to do a simple repair near a CPVC line, barely touched it, and had the pipe crack in my hand. This is especially common in hot water lines, where the constant thermal cycling accelerates the embrittlement process. Attic installations in southern states are particularly vulnerable because the combination of heat and age creates an extremely fragile pipe. The solvent welded joints also become the weak points over time as the cement ages and loses its bond strength. If you have CPVC in your home that is approaching the 20-year mark, I would strongly recommend having a plumber do a visual inspection. Look for any discoloration, hairline cracks near fittings, or areas where the pipe has become noticeably rigid compared to newer sections. The seventh truth is copper's enemy, electrolysis and dissimilar metals. Copper is a noble metal, which means it reacts when it comes in direct contact with less noble metals like galvanized steel, iron, or certain types of brass. This reaction is called galvanic corrosion, or electrolysis, and it can eat through a copper fitting or joint in as little as 5 to 10 years. You see this most commonly in older homes where a remodel connected new copper lines directly to existing galvanized steel pipes without using a dielectric union or a proper transition fitting. That junction becomes a battery of sorts, with an electrical current flowing between the two dissimilar metals and slowly dissolving the weaker one. The visible signs are a bluish-green crust forming around the connection, reduced water pressure, and eventually pinhole leaks right at the joint. The fix is straightforward, but absolutely critical. Every single connection between copper and a dissimilar metal needs a dielectric union, a brass-to-copper adapter rated for the application, or a PEX transition fitting that breaks the metal-to-metal contact. I have seen brand-new copper installations start leaking within 3 years because the installer skipped this one simple step. It is a $5 part that protects a $5,000 system. Never skip it. The eighth truth, and this is one most people get completely wrong, is PEX fitting failures versus pipe failures. When you hear about PEX systems failing, the vast majority of the time it is not the PEX tubing itself that gave out. It is the fittings. Early brass PEX fittings, particularly those made with a high zinc content, were prone to a process called dezincification. The zinc would leach out of the brass, leaving behind a weak, porous copper shell that would crack or crumble. There were actually major class action lawsuits over this in the 2000s. Modern PEX fittings have largely addressed this issue by using lead-free, dezincification-resistant brass or engineered polymer fittings. But the fitting type still matters enormously. Crimp rings, clamp rings, and expansion fittings each have different reliability profiles. Expansion-style fittings, where you expand the PEX and let it shrink back onto the fitting, are currently considered the most reliable because they create a continuous compression seal with no metal ring that could potentially fail. Stainless steel clamp rings are also extremely reliable. The point here is that when you are evaluating PEX longevity, you need to evaluate the entire system, not just the tubing. Ask what type of fittings are being used. If someone is still using those older style yellow brass fittings, walk away. The pipe is only as strong as its weakest connection. The ninth truth is the temperature and pressure reality check. Manufacturers love to publish impressive numbers about what their pipes can handle, but those numbers are tested in laboratory conditions, not in your house. Copper is rated for continuous use at temperatures well above 200 degrees Fahrenheit and pressures exceeding 150 psi. In a typical residential setting with a water heater set to 120 degrees and pressure at 60 to 80 psi, copper handles that without blinking. PEX is rated to around 200 degrees Fahrenheit and 160 psi, but here is the nuance. As temperature goes up, the pressure rating comes down, and vice versa. At 180 degrees, the pressure rating drops significantly. If you have a water heater malfunction that sends superheated water through PEX lines, you are in a much more vulnerable position than you would be with copper. CPVC falls in between, rated for around 200 degrees Fahrenheit at 80 psi. But its brittleness issue makes those numbers less reassuring over time. The real-world lesson is this. Make sure your water heater has a properly functioning temperature and pressure relief valve no matter what pipe material you are using. And if your home has water pressure above 80 psi, install a pressure-reducing valve at the main. High pressure is a silent pipe killer regardless of material. The 10th and final truth is which pipe actually lasts longest, the final verdict. After 2.5 decades of installing, repairing, and replacing all three of these materials, here is my honest answer. There is no single winner in every situation. Copper wins on pure longevity potential. In the right conditions, nothing outlasts it. But those conditions matter enormously. If your water is acidic, if dissimilar metals are present, or if the installation is sloppy, copper can fail faster than PEX or even CPVC. PEX wins on versatility, ease of installation, and freeze resistance. Its projected lifespan is excellent, and as long as you use quality fittings, keep it out of sunlight, and install it correctly, PEX is an outstanding choice for most residential applications. CPVC is the most affordable up front, but carries the highest risk of premature failure due to chemical sensitivity and brittleness. I would only recommend CPVC in situations where budget is the primary concern and the homeowner understands the limitations. If I am piping my own house today, I am using PEX for the runs with copper stub outs at fixtures. That gives me the best of both worlds, the flexibility and freeze resistance of PEX with the proven durability of copper where it matters most at the connection points. All right, here is the bonus tip that pros actually use, but rarely talk about. Before you commit to any pipe material, call your local water utility and request a copy of their annual water quality report. Every utility in the country is required to publish one. Look specifically at the pH level, the chloramine concentration, and the hardness rating. If the pH is below 7.2, think twice about copper. If chloramine levels are high, factor that into your copper longevity expectations. If hardness is extreme, consider that scale buildup will affect all three materials differently. This one free phone call gives you more actionable information about which pipe will last longest in your specific home than any YouTube video or hardware store employee ever could. Pair that report with a $50 water test from a local lab, and you will make a decision based on facts instead of opinions. That is the kind of homework that separates a 20-year pipe job from a 50-year one. All right, that is the full breakdown. Remember, every single plumbing fix I wish homeowners knew about is in my book, 50 Easy Plumbing Fixes. Scan the QR code on screen right now or grab it from the first link in the description. I appreciate you watching, and if you want more of these practical fixes, make sure to subscribe. I will see you in the next one.